Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spiritual Hygiene with Josie. This is my first episode. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm going to admit it, but it's going to be fine. We're starting today with some questions I've received from readers and from clients and former clients. And I wanted to share some of them with you here because it gives you a sense of the sorts of things that we could address on this show. Our first question today is from Bill in Charlottesville, Virginia. And Bill writes, "Dear Josie, I practice Tai Chi and I'm wondering if you could tell me what Chi is." Thanks for your question, Bill. I'm not a Taoist, but Tai Chi comes from a Chinese lineage. It's the same lineage where Qigong and Kung Fu come from. It comes from China, and there's a Buddhist lineage and a Taoist lineage. I'm not trained in either of those things. My training is more in the yogic tradition and in the Middle Eastern shamanic tradition. But my understanding, when I talk with friends of mine who have trained in Tai Chi and Qigong, is that it's very similar to what we call prana in yoga, which is that it's energy that moves through the body. I'm not an expert in Tai Chi at all, and I'll never claim to be an expert in things that I'm not an expert in. But in yoga, we do a lot of things to manipulate energy in the body. And my understanding of Qigong and Tai Chi is that those practices also do that. So when you're talking about Qi, you're talking about the way that energy moves throughout our bodies. And that's also what we're talking about in yoga when we're talking about prana. We're talking about the way that energy moves through our bodies, how it could get stuck sometimes, how it wants to move, how it wants to transform, how it wants to transmute. And we have different somatic practices, and somatic means in the body. We have different body practices and exercises that we can do to move energy through the body, to change our body's energetic state, and to make our bodies feel differently. I don't have a Tai Chi practice, but when I speak to people who do, what they talk about is that practice helps their body feel more energized. It helps their body feel more connected and more centered and more grounded. And that's ultimately really what any somatic practice is for, right? They come from many, many, many different lineages, many different indigenous cultures have somatic practices, have embodied practices to do different things. And ultimately, what these practices help us do is they help us get more connected to ourselves, more connected to nature, more connected to our nature, and in many cases, more connected to our spirituality. So it's great that you're doing Tai Chi, and I know that you're doing it in your building where you live, and that they're offering Tai Chi classes in your building. And I think it's so awesome. I don't have that practice, but when I work in a yogic way, I also feel those sorts of changes in my own body. Bill, thank you so much for asking your question. Anyone else here who's watching, if you have a question about your spiritual, physical, or emotional health, feel free to email me at hello@josiebray.com. Or you could get my anxiety release bundle for free, which is on my website at josiebray.com. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like or comment below, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much.